Hi, welcome to Magpie Moonchild. My name is Kayleigh. This is a deck unboxing and first look at Tarot Vintage by Lo Scarabeo. It has been out for a while. It just came up and I was like, do you know what? It's been a while since I bought myself a bit of classic Pixie, Coleman Smith. So I thought, oh, let's have a look and get it. So I'm just going to try and find, there we go, take the plastic cover off. I do snip the plastic just before I come on to make sure that it's open and free for me to do it. Anyway, so yes, Tarot Vintage has this gorgeous kind of Tudor rose style flower at the top. We have Tarot Vintage on the side. It is in a two-part box. So there we go, companion booklet by Sasha Graham. Tarot Vintage, Lo Scarabeo on the bottom, and on the back it has Arthur Waite Smith and Pamela Coleman Smith, 78 cards with instructions. And again, the companion booklet is by Sasha Graham. It doesn't have thumb holes, but it does open quite easily. We have black inlay there. We have a guidebook. I will get to the guidebook afterwards. And we have this gorgeous I love the way Lo Scarabeo, there's the inside the black there. We'll go through the cards one by one. Every time I get Lo Scarabeo deck, they have this pull bit on here to pull the thing around. It always reminds me of Imperial Leather soap. When I was younger, the soap used to come in a packet where you'd rip off it had the little line. It was red. Anyway, childhood memory unlocked. So yes, there we go. We have, you know, news and information for Lo Scarabeo on Instagram there. But let's have a look at these cards one by one. So we have this Tarot Vintage. So we have this kind of distressed looking paper design at the back. And then we have the gorgeous traditional back design. But it has obviously the slight colours of red and green and grey in the back design. I will put that over on this side because it's just one of the extra cards that Lo Scarabeo do with the deck. So we have the Fool, and again it has this gorgeous sepia tone across the it's coming across a bit brighter on my camera looking at it here than it is in real life, but it's really beautiful. It's really beautiful. And then we have the Magician. These are the traditional Rider-Waite, but they are obviously in the muted tones of this vintage design colorway. Then we have the High Priestess. We have the Empress. And these are traditional tarot size. Hierophant. We have the Lovers underneath. It's really beautiful how the colours have been, the harshness of the colours is taken down with this. So the Chariot there. It almost feels like you've walked into an old Parisian or Italian kind of cottage somewhere in the countryside, and this is like what the wall texture would look like where it's papered years ago. It's really beautiful. Strength, or an English country house that hasn't been restored yet. The Hermit. That star really pops out in that colourway more than it does in the traditional. Wheel of Fortune. Justice. The Hanged Man. I really like the mutedness of it. Death. Temperance. The Devil. The Tower. Still has its black background. The Star. Somehow that really looks like a that would look beautiful as a poster, like a vintage poster. The Moon. I love that it has this mottling here. It's beautiful. The Sun. Oh, I've missed the Judgment there. Judgment. Again, I think it's actually more powerful in the muted tones. And the World. Then we have the Ace of Cups. The 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. And the 9. Grab another watch. 10. The Page. The Knight. The Queen. And the King. Then we move into the Pentacles. So we have the Ace. The 2. The 3. I also love that there's slightly like the border isn't even all the way around. I really kind of like that as a vintage kind of feel. The 4, the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the 10. We have the Page and the Knight, and then we have the Queen, the King, and then we move into the Wands with the Ace, the 2. I'll tell you what, taking out the yellow, I think it's more the yellow is muted, the 3, just the harshness is pared back and it's really even more beautiful. The 4, the 5. So if you find that the traditional Rider-Waite Smith is a little bit harsh colour-wise, palette-wise, which a lot of people find, it's quite jarring. This is a really beautiful way of using them. There's the 6 of Wands. Of having the same cards with the imagery. The symbolism's all there. It's just 7 and the 8. The symbolism's all there. It's just some of the colours have been muted down or removed a little. 9. I suppose colour symbolism, it's going to reduce the... it might give a slightly different tone to the energy to the card. 10 of Wands, if you use colour symbolism in that way. But Page of Wands, it's another viewpoint on it. Knight of Wands, the Queen, and the King. And then we move into the Swords, the Ace, the 2, 3, I love that, the 4, and the 5, and then we'll get the last lot, the 6, the 7, 10 still have their colours, see, the 8, the 9, the 10, the Page, the Knight, the Queen of Swords, and the King of Swords. And then obviously we have that card. It's the same on both sides. Let's have a little play with them. So as I said, they are traditional tarot cards. They're not completely matte, but they're not glossy. I know that it has a slight shine to it, but I wouldn't say it's glossy. Hand over shuffling really easily. They are really springy. I do find with Low Scarabeo that the cards do spring really well. They're quite thin, but they do spring right back to where they're from. And I found that since my very first deck, the Jane Austen Tarot and the Renaissance Tarot. I bought 2, didn't I, to begin with, because it's me. Yes, my first couple of decks were also very similar in that springiness. Like you riffle shuffle and you wouldn't even know that you'd, done that. Because sometimes you riffle shuffle a deck, casino shuffle a deck, and they'll bend, but these don't. They just spring right back. They're really beautiful. The only other deck creator that has similar cards is it Fournier? And they have similar. It's that thin, springy card that just works really well for these decks. Thin doesn't mean poor quality either with these. They really do beautifully handle. They would wash really well. It has a reversible, semi-reversible, no, it is reversible design, so you can not know you're pulling a reversal if that matters to you. So let's pop that in the box there. And then we have the guidebook. We have Tarot Vintage Guidebook by Sasha Graham, incredible tarotist. And then we have, the deck is by Arthur Edward Waite and Pamela Coleman-Smith, Pixie. Vintage graphical adaptations and colorings by Chiara de Magistris. I'm really sorry. I'm really bad with pronouncing names. I was only in 2021 it was done. Okay. Tarot Vintage. There's an introduction there. And then how does tarot work? How to formulate questions with the cards, unlocking the mysteries of the 78 keys. I mean, Waite's tarot, Pictorial Key to the Tarot is really worth a read. If you are somebody that wants to learn the deeper levels of tarot, it is worth looking at the source of, not the original source of tarot, but the Rider-Waite-Smith system was created by Waite-Smith. So the symbolism is in there that, you know, his system was born from. Reversals, deck structure. So it explains the tarot suits, numerals and what the numerological meanings are. Court cards, how to read another person. Do that once you've understood yourself, I think. Or, you know, it is fun to read for other people. But yeah, it's understanding your energy and they're intersecting. So protect your energy if you are reading for others. We should protect, ground and cleanse anyway. But especially so if you're reading for other people, because you're in theirs, and yeah, it's like you're in their energy and you're going to pick up things in their energy and they're going to pick up things in yours as well. So it's not just protecting you, it's protecting them as well. Hindsight, insight and foresight spread, vintage spirit spread. Then it goes into the arcana. So it has the name of the card. There's no images of the card in this book. I don't think there are in low Scarabeo decks, generally speaking. So yeah, 0, full, so outside a keyword, and then there's a little description there, and then there's a bigger message there, the Magician, and it has all these different keywords and aspects, archetypes for these, for the major arcana. Then we go into the cups, and they cover a 2-page book, 2 pages of the book for each suit. Some wands and pentacles, so they have little keywords, message from the author, and then it goes into I believe that's Italian, and then French and Spanish, and it has all the different languages that are in there. So yeah, it always does it in various, and a message from the author. So it does it in the various language. So yes, English, Italian, Spanish and Portuguese. So there's no French in that one, sorry, but it is Spanish and Portuguese. So yeah, there you go. That is Tarot Vintage. That is a classier version of the white book that you it's got more in-depth details. Generally